Hello, here's our question. How do I find the independent variable? Well, what is the independent variable? And I'll be honest, I'm not very good at explaining this. As a math person, I can say, well, independence the x, but basically the way I look at it is the independent one is the one you get to choose. It's like pick a card, pick a number. You could pick any number in the world, anything you want. This is the one that you get to determine. And then dependent depends on what you picked as to what the answer is. So as an example here, as we look at these, we have these are dependents over here and independents on the right. So we can see the price of pizza depends on, let's look at our choices. That's why I like to say the price of the pizza depends on, but wouldn't be sunlight or distance or speed or hours worked or number of tickets, amount of time studying, here we go. Looking down here, scooping ahead, size of the pizza. I think the size of the pizza would determine the whoops, I got too far ahead of myself there, would determine what it is. So I look at the next one, the amount of the car payment would depend on, and as I look right here, I see this G, price of a car, or the cost of a car, because obviously the more it costs, the bigger the payment would be. There's other things that affect that too, so it's not always just one. And the volume of a cylinder, volume of a cylinder, radius and height of a can. Let me move this up here. That would be it. The radius and height of our can. So that would be J. The amount of a cell bill. Let's look at our choices. Wouldn't be sunlight or speed or worked. Tickets, studying, number of minutes used. That sounds like something that'd be for some. The number of minutes used would depend on our bill. Of course, nowadays they mostly have unlimited, and the growth of a plant, I think that would depend on the sunlight. So the independent is the sunlight. Like the sunlight, if I have a little bit of sunlight, the plant's not going to grow. If I have a lot of sunlight, the plant will grow. So that's what we kind of get. The time it takes for a road trip. Okay, now I'm going to be very careful here because I want to say this here. The distance and the speed would determine how long it would take for your road trip. Okay, that would be letter B. And the amount of gas in a car would be the distance of the drive. All right. Although I'm also going to say that each of these could have been interchangeable on this one. That's kind of aren't two very good questions to have together for a choice. And money earned obviously depends on your hours worked and your rate. Obviously, if you earn more, if you get more per hour, you're going to earn more. If you work more hours, you earn more. So otherwise, the money earned depends on the independent variable of how much work. You get to choose how much you work, then that determines how much money you get. Ticket sales at a movie. Might depend on the number of tickets bought, because if there's not very many left, the price can tend to go up. And your score on a test is probably determined by the amount of time you spend studying. Usually for most people, the more time you spend studying, the better your score will be. So these were dependent because they all depended on these here. Like you get to choose how much time you spend studying, and that will reflect on your score on your test. Okay. Independent is the one that you get to choose, work with, and it determines the other. The dependent is the one that is determined by what happened here.